Hi, I'm Dr. Hachi, a veterinarian here in Japan. Let me ask you something. Is your home really an easy place for your dog to live in? The truth is, your home environment can make a huge difference in how long your dog lives. If you don't know about this, just going through a normal day can quietly put strain on their body, and a disease can slowly progress without you ever noticing. And then comes that thought, I wish I had noticed sooner. A lot of owners end up carrying that regret. But if you take a look at your home environment now, you can help extend the healthy time you have together. So today, I'm going to walk you through 5 things that make a home shorten a dog's life from a veterinarian's point of view. By watching to the end, you'll know exactly which points you can fix today to build a dog-friendly home. This is useful for anyone living with a dog right now, so please stick around to the end. First, something important. Your home affects your dog's health more than you might think. That's because dogs spend almost their whole life at home. On top of that, they can't change their own environment, so much of that home comes down to you, the owner. That's exactly why your awareness matters so much. If something in the environment is off, it may be putting stress on your dog without you realizing it. So let's learn together what kind of home is actually comfortable for a dog. Let's get into it. The first thing that makes a home shorten a dog's life is a cluttered room. Swallowing something they shouldn't is one of the most common problems when you live with a dog. This is especially common in young, curious dogs up to around 3 years old. They may swallow all kinds of things, so you really have to watch them. Here are the things that cause the most trouble. Small, soft items like erasers, long, thin strings, and toxic substances. First, small, soft things like erasers. When a dog swallows something, the first thing we have to think about is whether it will block the intestines. If something blocks the intestine, food can't move through anymore, so even when they eat, all they can do is throw up. Many dogs with a blocked intestine end up needing surgery. The things that actually get stuck are a very specific size, small enough to pass through the exit of the stomach, but too big to make it all the way through the intestine. Erasers are one example, and sponges, or the corner of a foam floor mat, get stuck a lot too. Please be careful with those. Next, long thin strings. These get stuck easily as well. The intestine moves in waves, kind of like an inchworm, to push food along. But a long string can't be pushed along, so the intestine bunches up around it, and food can't get through. Anything longer than about 8 inches is more likely to cause a blockage, so keep those out of reach. Last, toxic substances. Things like onions and chocolate are in just about every kitchen, but they're poisonous to dogs, so please be careful. The story I hear most often is that it was sitting on the table and the dog got to it. Try not to leave food out on tables either. The key to preventing all of this is simply not leaving out anything they could swallow. In a cluttered room, the chances go way up. I know keeping everything put away is close to impossible, so start with the dangerous things we just talked about. Try to keep those in mind. I've met so many owners who only regretted it after their dog swallowed something. Let's stay ahead of it. The second thing that makes a home shorten a dog's life is water being hard to drink. When a dog keeps drinking less water than they need, it quietly strains their body and can affect their lifespan. For example, it can make things like bladder stones and kidney disease more likely to happen. So it really matters to create an environment where they can drink as much as they want, whenever they want. Here are 3 things you can start doing today. 1. Put water in every room. 2. Don't use a ball-type water bottle. 3. Soften their food with water. First, 1 bowl of water in every room. You've been thirsty before, but didn't feel like getting up to go get a drink, right? Dogs are the same. If the water is far away, walking over there feels like a hassle, and they end up drinking less. Ideally, put 1 bowl of fresh water in each room, and definitely keep one near their favorite spot, the place they usually hang out. Next, don't use a ball-type water bottle. This is the kind I mean. For a dog, these are surprisingly hard to lick. Sometimes it looks like they're drinking, but barely any water is coming out. Since that lowers how much they drink, these generally aren't recommended. If you've been using one without knowing that, switch to a different type. Last, soften their food with water. I think this one works really well. By soaking the food, they take in water automatically. Add water to the bowl of kibble, and if you can, warm it in the microwave just a little. Making it slightly lukewarm brings out the smell, and dogs seem to love that. Some dogs don't like it, but if yours eats it just fine, it's well worth doing. Give it a try. Water is something they drink every single day without thinking, and that's exactly why they're often getting less than you assume they are. So please take a look around your home with today's tips in mind. The third thing that makes a home shorten a dog's life is long hours in the crate. If they're in there too long, stress can build up without you noticing, and they don't get enough exercise. A lot of families crate their dog while they're out of the house, or overnight while everyone sleeps. Using a crate itself isn't a bad thing at all. The problem is when the time they spend inside gets too long, day after day. As a rough guide, around 8 hours total per day is about the most I'd aim for. That said, if there are times you can let them out in between, you don't need to be too strict. And by the way, if they go in on their own and settle down, that's completely fine. If you leave the door open and they still don't come out, just quietly let them be. The fourth thing that makes a home shorten a dog's life is the wrong room temperature. When a room is too hot or cold, it puts a real strain on their body before you even realize it. The temperature a dog finds comfortable depends on breed and body type, but as a guide, it's roughly 63 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Most of the time, if it's comfortable for a person, they're fine too. But the time I really want you to watch out for is when they're home alone. While you're out, the temperature in the room can swing more than you'd expect. Here's what I'd recommend for your thermostat. In summer, air conditioning at around 72 to 80 degrees. In winter, heating at around 68 to 73 degrees. These are just guidelines, so adjust for how your home is built and for your dog's breed. Small dogs especially tend to be sensitive to cold, so if you head out in winter with no heat on, they may get chilled and stressed. And large dogs, plus flat-faced breeds like pugs, don't handle heat well, so summer needs extra attention. The fifth thing that makes a home shorten a dog's life is a dirty potty area. Do you clean it up right away after your dog goes? When the potty area is dirty, dogs will sometimes hold it in. And if that keeps happening, urinary problems become much more likely. The ones I actually see most often are these three: bladder infections, kidney stones and bladder stones, and kidney infections, also called pyelonephritis. Stones and kidney infections especially, if you leave them alone, can become life-threatening. So clean the potty area as soon as it gets dirty. And if that's hard to keep up with, set up 2 or more spots instead. Little things like that will give you real peace of mind. So what did you think? For a dog, home is the place they feel safest and the place they spend the most time. Let's quickly go over the 5 points. 1. A cluttered room. 2. Water that's hard to drink. 3. Too much time in the crate. 4. The wrong room temperature. 5. A dirty potty area. Take a moment to look around your house while you think back on what we talked about today. If you find something you can improve, that's actually a good thing. Small improvements, over and over, can make life with your dog healthier and happier. On this channel, I share information to help with your dog's health and everyday life. Subscribe so you don't miss anything. Let's keep learning together. Thanks so much for watching.